Hey guys, how are you doing? I'm sorry it's been so long. For those of you that do come to my channel and do watch me, it has been one heck of a, probably year. Um, you might notice, even if you've only ever seen one video before, you might notice a change of scenery. I no longer live in the same place. A definitely fair amount of things have happened. Sorry, I'm looking for a piece of paper. You'll excuse me for half a second. Thank you for that half a second. But I might do a video later of all that's happened if you're interested. But I've had one heck of a ride, and I was sitting here in my new room and doing a reading, and I laid the cards already, so it's already done. But I pulled these randomly, and I had put some stuff. I don't really have a lot of anything left that I used to own. Some of it's still new, some of it I've been able to retain since April. And I have a new deck. I don't think I've ever done a reading on this channel for the collective. It's the find one that's not so hard to. It's a holograph one I got for my birthday last year. Oh, here we go. We'll do the star. That's always a great card. It's really hard to see. I apologize because it's a holographic, but it is the original Rider and Waite tarot deck. I got that sent from a friend of mine. She sent it a few days before my birthday last year, and it arrived the day after, as someone I was helping out during this last winter on my birthday burnt all those cards that I used to use, the ones I made and everything. So I've been rebuilding since someone I was staying with. When I was there, I don't know what happened. I want to say about 6 or 7 of the major arcana cards were removed from this deck. So, though I'm not playing with full deck, I am playing with full deck. I promise. Y'all remember my little word cards that I always use, right? You know, those, I remade those. But those that were missing, I wrote the word on with the number and an up or down arrow. Ooh. That was not supposed to be devil scare. I was supposed to be, and that was a terrible attempt at me trying to rock out. But that's what I do to improvise right now, because I have absolutely no funds whatsoever to purchase another deck, not even a cheap one. That's fine. I've improvised. I am using also the old school cartomancy regular deck. I've made some more cards, and I'm going to show them to you because I feel like every single one of these ones I made resonated with what I was trying to say, because I've made them over time since not having the last ones. But if you absolutely hate that I had to write down the words on the piece of paper to make make do with what I had in the meantime, Kate, I'm sorry, and have a nice night. For the rest of you, I hope you take me as I am, because I've always said, please be the most authentically you can be. Make connections, and I promise you've never seen me more authentically me than I have been now. And I had friends that I didn't think were friends, but I gave them the benefit of the doubt. I had friends that I thought were friends that were not. When things get real, what happens? You find out who your friends are and who shows up, and then it's left to just you. And I can't wait to tell you all actually what happened. Not for any other reason than I want you to have some inspiration out of it, because I feel inspired by it, but not right now. I want to get to the reading. there's a lot of resonance in the collective right now, especially being in the Lionsgate portal. We're about at the end of it. The 8th was when it was open full. That I was the first time I'd ever heard of it. A new friend I made here in the building was born 8/8/81, and I learned about it that day. And then with being the Sturgeon moon tonight, the last super full moon, so much manifesting is going on. I want to sit there and talk about all these forever, but I've always been trying to quit rambling on, and I can't stand when people ramble on and don't get into the reading. So I'm going to quit doing that, and maybe we'll talk more after. But the first card that I pulled, it felt like very much resonated with a lot of things that are going on in the collective, but it was the Empress in reverse. And that very much said to me, and what I was feeling was this was an Empress who was from day one, even maybe before she was born, or predestined to be born to be the one hated. And I mean, it doesn't have, I mean, it could be an emperor too. You don't have to be male or female, but I'm feeling a lot of feminine energy. I have been for a while, and especially the moon being very feminine, considered feminine, lunar, and the super full. I feel very much like a woman such as Pandora or Eve or Joan of Arc, which is Salem trial, which is burned at the stake. Everything, like the feminine energy as a whole has very much been to blame, the scapegoat, oh, your emotions make you weak, oh, but actually it's more fear of emotions, because emotions, especially at their height, can tell the biggest truths. And I feel this Empress, she might have given people reason to believe everything they were told. Lashed out in anger, overly dramatic maybe. This girl had plenty of experience in that, especially lashing out in anger. Maybe even making mean choices, or, well, yeah, mean choices that she justified for whatever reason. I mean, maybe a girl that wasn't faithful, or maybe a girl that was tenacious and but she mirrored back exactly what she was shown, as in being always told, and demonized for whatever reason, blamed for whatever reason. She mirrored it back. Okay, even if it wasn't conscientious. Anyway, she mirrored it back. Oh, okay, this is what you say I am, then this is what I am, and this is what I'll be. I'll be a slut. I'll be a bitch. I'll be a Jezebel. I'll be whatever you say I'm going to be, because no matter what I do to be the contrary, it'll never be. You'll never believe me, and at this point, it matters that you believe me, because we all care to a point of what people think of us. We all care to a point, but then we care too much to a point, and everybody goes through that, and she doesn't care what people think of her, because they're going to think what they want anyway. So she's just going to give the people what they paid for. Does not justify actions, bad actions, especially ones made to her, but it explains. And this is what I'm picking up from this Empress card in reverse. I was kind of shocked to get that, the very first card I pulled. And then I pulled the 8 of Cups in the upright. And especially in the Rider-Waite deck, I see these empty cups, left behind, and this person just leaving in the night, the thief in the night. And he's just leaving so quickly, because even if he leaves all the evidence behind, it's all right, because nobody will suspect this, that, or the other. He won't get caught, because he's left her for dead. He truly believes he will, no one will suspect, because she won't be there to tell, and she's gift wrapped this opportunity for him to leave her like this, and nobody would think anything else of whatever it was that he has portrayed to happen. And so he leaves all the evidence behind, all the empty cups that he poured out of, and she doesn't die, she doesn't fade away, she doesn't go anywhere. But she takes those cups, the shell of herself, basically these empty cups, being that shell that is left of her, and refills it to bring herself back to life, but is still not using the best things to fill it with. Even if she's trying to, she's not always, or she might think this is the best for her, or all she'll ever get to fill it with. So she's just trying to rebuild, because whatever it was his intent for, it didn't follow through to plan the whole way he wanted to. Though he hurt, I shouldn't say that he, but you get what I'm saying, what they wanted it to do. But she's trying to hang on, and the tower moment it causes, the ripple effect, tower in reverse that it causes, is felt so far. It's unbelievable how far it's felt. And she knows it's going to ripple effect way further than her. And she didn't mean for it. She knows she could have stopped it, but at this point it was just all go. And when she did try to stop it, and they left her there, and just whatever happened, that's when the tower fell. And she didn't realize that this would be the hardest part. This Empress, this was harder than the break. And she thought she was healing before, and she thought she was, but she was rushing her healing, and you can't rush your healing. I mean, we're all starting to figure out that the healing is much more painful. When you break your bone and they reset it, it hurts worse. When you dislocate a joint and they pop it back into place, it hurts worse than dislocating it. You're having to go back and face the memory you don't want to face, the things you try to bury, or things you try to cover. You're having to face it, even just remember it, and you have to look at it. You have to look into that darkness. You have to stare in it. And it hurts so bad. Sometimes a memory, you can just feel it down to your soul and your marrow and everything. It just burns and hurts, but you have to flow through it and feel it. And that causes the tower. And not because anymore because she's intentionally hurting, or she's whatever she's mirroring, because she's feeling the pain that caused everything. And it hurts so bad. And she slept with one eye open for so long. Here in the Four of Swords, she slept so hard, because there were always these threats above her. She had her weapon there ready to go, and she slept on point and ready to go, but this was not restful. So she locked herself away. In the Nine of Pentacles, it's like hoarding and agoraphobia, and just wrapping yourself in, just trying to engulf, and everything's okay. I'm just in here. I'm just hanging out here in my closet. I'm just, over here in my gilded cage. I'm fine. Or it's like she's trapped there, and she's trapped and somebody's keeping her there, but in the end, nobody has a shackle on her. But everything there with her is trapped in there with her. She's keeping it all in there because she's keeping herself in there. And when I was talking about this card with a friend of mine earlier, I just remembered that. We talked about this very card. And I said how it was kind of like the devil, how the devil card there's no shackles on the prisoners. They just stay there. The shackles there, they could easily loop out of, break it up, but they stay there. And they try to say they're trapped. But now they've trapped everything else with them. And now she's the warden. That's crazy. I completely forgot this conversation I had with my friend earlier tonight, not that long ago. The Nine of Pentacles. This is very much what has happened. And I feel it's another thing that led up to that tower moment and everything we saw behind us. And it bears that the cycle could happen again. Or that coming after the Four of Swords, how she's always on guard. She's always, never sleeping, always alert, because she doesn't want to be hurt again. To let her guard down, so that she slips, exhaustion, she slips into a coma, and now she's in a complete delusion. And in this And because she's there, she doesn't realize how much power she has and how much soul potential she has and how much this world needs her out in it connecting, that she's engulfed and trapped the world, in a sense, in with her. And the delusion is that everything's okay. I'll be okay if I just come in here with my stuff and I hold on here. I'll be okay. Because all I do is hurt others out there. And all I have to offer the world is my absence. So I will be absent when she can't be absent. She's not a drop in the ocean. She's the entire ocean in a drop. And the King of Hearts, I don't know where this is trying to go. It often represents like a light-haired, light-complected male, older, with good advice, older, wiser. Maybe this is someone who comes to her, and it could be the voice of God himself, source. It could be your father. It could be someone she looked up to, just more of a masculine kind of patriarch, but she's defied it and denied it. And but these things that are older, that she once didn't really. Maybe this is someone that was always kind and always trying to lead her in the right way, but she took it, she rejected. And I mean, this might not even be a person. It's just good advice that you just didn't take, like Alanis Morissette says, and ironic. But when I was playing this, I've really been listening to a lot of Madonna's older stuff, like 80s stuff from when I was really, really little, because I didn't realize how much Madonna had gotten me through certain points of childhood. And now that I'm going back there, I'm starting to see things that I always saw but didn't know. And with the Sturgeon moon that we're in, one of the things about it is that the sturgeon, they're caught mostly in August because they spend most of their time dwelling the bottom, like the Great Lakes. And the best time to catch them is right at the end of summer to harvest the last big harvest. It's also called the corn moon and all that. That last harvest you manifest in summer, to get ready for the barren ahead and for the fall and the winter, which is long. And there is no more to grow or to fish from because it's frozen. And so digging deep within inside her while she's there, not realizing, like, the song "Oh Father" came on by Madonna, and I do not own the rights to any of these quotes, these lyrics, these things that I say. I don't own the rights. Madonna, please don't sue me. YouTube, please don't take me off. Someone needs to hear this. And Madonna got me through a lot, and I know she did a lot of people. One of the first comments that on the YouTube, where one of the first comments, the most liked one that pops up, it says, "The song prevented me from committing suicide." Somebody needs to hear this message, so please do not take me down for quoting a song that has saved my life and may save someone and has saved others. But, which she says, "Oh Father, you never wanted to live that way. Why am I running away? Maybe someday when I look back, I'll be able to say, you didn't mean to be cruel. Somebody hurt you too." Now she understands. It doesn't excuse. Nobody should have ever hurt her, him, anybody the way they did, but it explains. And she says, "When I was a child, I remember I would lay down next to your boots and I'd pray for your anger to end. You never loved me." And they did. They just didn't know how to love because somebody hurt them too. And it passed on and it passed on and it passed on, generation after generation. And you guys, what are we doing here if we aren't here to break generational curses? Because we can. We can. And, there's the 8. I'm still getting used to these. I had to write down like I still have to do with the other stuff too. The 8 of Clubs, difficulty in business and or love, Now, maybe we never had balance before, and we, worked too much, didn't do this, put too much here. And so now we're learning a new balance. And now, after that, there's another balance we have to learn, and another, and another. And it's very tiring and it's very jading. And, there's bad luck, anxiety. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, bad luck, anxiety comes from that. And I'm sorry, it's nine of spades came, nine of clubs was the, came before, okay, I'm sorry. Nine of clubs came next, bad luck, depression, anxiety, bad business choices, bad luck in love, in business, just, feels like, this rock bottom has a trap door, all these tower moments, they're just, they're not even tower moments. There's another big tower. There's another fiery climax. There's another. Yes, there is. But everything inside you, from the pain to the darkness, to that little piece of you, because the next song that came on after that was Live to Tell by Madonna, was also by Madonna, and it was just the only two songs I think I played during that one. And that one I loved the most, and I'll talk about why in a different video. It's too much, but I remember having my own dresser, having this dresser my mom let me, which is kind of a crappy one. She knew I wanted to paint it black, so she got a crappy one, and I painted it with my nail polish, and then she yelled at me for writing words on it, because I would only die. It was silly, but I remember writing the lyrics to that song. If I ran away, I'd never have the strength to go very far. How would they hear the beating of my heart? I never understood what I loved about that song, that line. And I don't know if I do either now. But, the two of diamonds came out, and it says disapproval of relationships or an affair. Whatever she did next, there was more disapproval. And I'm not saying she went out and had an affair. It seems, that might have been something in the past. Either whether she did or didn't, whatever she was going to do next was going to be seen as bad. But she was no longer concerned with reflecting back what they showed her. Because somehow now everything from that King of Hearts there, that older things, man, is now new and relevant again. And the sturgeon, they were also, they can live 150 years and they get huge. They're often seen as like sea monsters, Leviathan, or I'm sorry, like related to the Leviathan. It's like a sea monster from the Bible. It's spoken about in Job and other places too. But I remember especially from Job. And then Loch Ness Monster and all that, because they're always down there and they're bottom feeding, so it's raising, but the water's not clear because they're down there bottom feeding. And then when they come up in August, crazy during the portal, and then we've got this super full moon. The full moon is done, but now it's a super moon. They're rising up, and they're showing what's at the bottom of the lake, really. And now everybody's gonna catch them. Now, that can sound barbaric here. They're gonna catch them, they're gonna eat them. No, you're gonna swallow a very hard pill. The whole world is now, because the bright moon is shining down, and the ripple effects, they're being, it's the light is blinding. It's almost, you can't see, but you can't see the ripples anymore. But you can't deny they're there. This ripple effect, it ain't going away. It's still there, but it's getting washed out and smoothed out. Those monsters, the world needs monsters, you guys. And we're always learning. There's so much left to learn, but you've learned so much. You look back only now to see how far you've come. And you say, all right, I got this far. This is it. But there's plenty more to learn, and there's plenty more. It doesn't mean, it's always going to be hard, because there's always going to be difficulty in life. I'm pretty sure I don't need to tell anybody that. you know, but the word cards I pulled, I didn't even keep them in order. I just threw them here, what I pulled, and then I was pulling them back out. As I'm dropping them everywhere, but journey, slow down, journey, I don't know, I'm showing you just a word on a piece of paper, slow down, you know, stop and take it in for a minute. You're gonna need to rest for a minute. You're gonna need to breathe it in. You're probably still in full war mode, like because of your survival, because of everything, or because you know time is of the, you know, you've gotten out of this, but you don't have a lot of time to make sure it stays permanent. Or maybe you just think, oh, it's just gonna, oh, maybe Nine of Pentacles is great again. I don't. Slow down and take a breath. We're coming into the slowdown of the fall. You're harvesting right now, manifesting through the open portal and harvesting through this moon. You are harvesting and you are manifesting. I mean, I'm not saying slow down right at the second. Like if you're full bore in something, like I got my final court date finally is coming up the 16th. And I know I have all I can have. So I'm taking that breath until Tuesday. And then full bore again. Because you're gonna need every ounce of strength you have. You're harvesting, you're manifesting, you're all go, no quit, and that's great, but you will need every ounce of strength for every battle. So learn when to just slow down for a minute. The seasons give us a great indicator. They give us plenty of warning. We know how much time we have here, and we've had so much time, like harvesting crops, okay? We have had season after season after season that we know when the harvest season is and how to counter and adapt every bad fall. And if we have a bad season, the next, there's nothing left to learn in the world, but there's plenty left for you to learn. There's plenty of information that is going to be new to you, but there's nothing new. It's all been done, and don't let that make you complacent. Don't let that make you just, oh, wow. Where is it? I had the word static. And I can't even remember writing that. I'm like, what the hell? Don't let it make you static and complacent. Don't let it get you trapped again. All right? Don't. Yes, it's a cycle, but it gets better. You know, the only thing you have to be better than is who you were yesterday. And doing your best looks different every day. So, you know, it's summertime, it's spring, there's abundance, there's overflow. There's go, go, go. You know what? We have all been trapped. MK Ultra, something. I say MK Ultra. I put MK and then operation on this one because you know how many there are? So many evil deeds have been done. Again, so many empresses in the reverse, so many emperors in the upright. So many things have been done to those that have the light to shine and just trapped us and just, oh, it's all out there in the dark, the moon and the stars. It's where they shine brightest. So, you know, the sun's a star. It's just closer. Okay? It shines the brightest in the dark. You think there's no darkness because the sun's out? The sun's a star. It's just closer. Okay? It's always dark. Otherwise, I'm glad it's always dark because that way you can see light. And if darkness, as a very good friend of mine, Devin, says, sometimes it is okay to fight the darkness with darkness. And the way people look at me go, no, don't stupid little, no, don't just turn around and do evil deeds. The best thing I read while I'm going through this is it said, listen, it was a meme on Facebook. It says, listen, you quit telling everybody lies about me, I'll quit telling everybody the truth about you. Keep your mouth shut until it's time to speak the truth. You can do a tell-all right there on your day of reckoning. And if it's slighted, ask for a change of venue after you're done telling it all. Fight the darkness with darkness. You know that you have made darkness your ally. Just like Bane, they cast us out into the darkness for how long? It's now our ally because it's all we have, but we're still good and we're still light. They go to hide their evil deeds in the dark, not realizing we can see them. We can see them. Now the world, it came out in the upright. World in the upright. Okay? The soul's potential is now, even though you're still unclear, you don't know what to do next. Do I need to get a job? And you don't know what to do, but you know what potential you have. You know, and it's close to you. It's those closest to you, even if they're the ones that have hurt you. The connections you made, it's there. Everything close to you that has connected somehow is telling you the way. And a lot of it you forgot. And I Live to Tell, that was one of the songs by Madonna that I was talking about. And I didn't even write down that last line I told you. I just remembered it being on my dresser as a kid. But the other one I wrote down. It's very pretty. I know where beauty lives. I've seen it once, and I know the one she gives. A light that you could never see. It shines inside. You can't take that from me. The truth is never far behind. I've kept it hidden well. Hope I live to tell the secret I have learned. Till then, it'll burn inside of me. If I run away, I'd never have the strength to go there. And I now remember, I'm not going to talk about it because it's not relevant to right now, though it is. I'm not going to talk about it right now. But why that line, I loved it so much. And I could understand what that memory was. That memory now, I could understand what it was. Now I do. But it's not time yet. The more people lie about you, the more you tell them the truth about them. You don't go on a smear campaign. Well, he did this, he did that. Do you know what I mean by that? The more they tear you down and talk negative about you, the tide is turning. That's why the tower fell over and over again, to turn the tide. Okay, that's why the moon comes in as close as it can to get that tide moving, and it's gonna cause some turn. But you know what? It had to. Okay. The more they try and make you out to be a horrible, horrible person or whatever, Empress, Emperor in reverse, whoever you are, the more they tell the truth about themselves, and it is coming to the light. That's no longer just a metaphor or something you'll see in the end, because there is now, with the world in the upright, it's the world and the sun. Those are like some of the best cards you can get in the tarot, even if they're in reverse, because what it's saying is, I wrote it down, hold on. Hold on, I wrote it down. I'm probably never going to do a reading like this again because I feel like but I didn't write it down. Is that with the world, it's our soul potential is known, but it I can't remember what I was gonna say. I'm just being authentically me. Our soul's potential, it's coming through. And Mother Earth, the moon, the stars. Pandora, she slammed that box shut. She was told to never open, though she was made to open it. And you know what? She's had enough. And she's not gonna flip it open to say, cool, let me just crush you. She's gonna say, I was born to open this box. So no matter what comes out of it, you made me to open this box, and then you blamed me for opening the box. So whatever comes out of it is meant to be, because everything you manifested against me to make me a bad person in the world's eyes, in the eye of the beholder, was meant to be. Here it is. Day of reckoning. Yeah, when a woman's fed up, that was a song I remember you know, hell hath no fury, witch trials are overturned, scapegoats getting their justice. Here's my Pandora's box. And nostalgia. Don't get wrapped up in the past and loss. Yearn for the success you used to have. Bleed for the pain that has happened in the past. But you take it all that you have learned, because you have learned. You have, you know. You're still going to make mistakes along the way. Congratulations, you're human. Guess what? I'm going to too. Don't tell anyone. It's all coming back. It's all coming back to me now. Meatloaf version. I'll explain more on that later. Not in this video. Crow. The Crow, mystic, psychic, adaptable, exceptional memory, clever, transformation, messengers. Pay attention when the crows are around. They call out evil. Everybody's screaming that they're evil and bad because they don't want anyone to hear, hey, ka, ka. Yeah, they're narcs. They are. They call out evil. And then they run around and play with shiny things and are happy. You know? They ain't scared of the scarecrow. Who are you fooling? That's why people don't like crows. You know, they're called the murderer crows when they own the flocks. Well, because you killed people. Okay, you killed a whole bunch of people in a battle, in a war, and somebody had to clean up the mess because you weren't going to bury it and burn it, and everybody was going to die of disease. So the crow came and cleaned it up with all his vulture buddies. You're welcome. Pay attention when the crow caws. They're calling out evil. Pay attention to what they're throwing, why they're throwing rocks at the crow. But he who hath not sinned. The sleeping fox. I got you. I see you. Prefers to be out in the open rather than a den. Mischievous, loving, fast, playful, lover of fun, protector. They're very protective. Sleeping fox feigns indifference, though actually acutely aware. So now, fox has been through some things. The fox has seen some things, okay? That's why they can lay there and sleep. It's not like the Four of Swords anymore, where it's, I'm gonna rest out here in the open. What are you doing? Saw that. And they're they hunt solo, but they're pack animals in the sense that when the mother is in the den, buried out in the den with her babies are born deaf and blind. She has to be with them 24/7. So then the whole pack has to come bring to her. And then when she goes back out to hunt and mate, she does it solo and she's just happy and fun. But then when she needs help, the whole pack helps. And they all help each other out. And they feign indifference like they don't care. They don't care, but they know what you're doing. They know. They just have fabulous boots on. Aren't foxes beautiful? Oh, and I don't know. Yeah, these ones I'll show in another one. But thank you. Thanks for coming back to see me. I've been on here for almost 40 minutes. Thanks for watching my first video in a long time. And if you missed me, I missed you too. Thanks for missing me. Go be authentically you. Make connection. You know.